Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a good break. For those of you just tuning in, I'm Athena and I'm joined by Zeke, and we're from Staffbase. Our next session is one of the most important topics we have to consider as internal comms professionals, and that is culture. Janine Langlotz leads internal communications at DHL Express, a logistics courier and package delivery services company employing more than 120,000 employees worldwide. Janine will be joining us to discuss some actionable strategies that we can apply to inspire employees globally to propel success. Make sure to stay for the live Q&A at the end of her session. And another reminder, if you want to ask a question, please do use the Q&A tab only. With that, Janine, over to you.
Hi, a warm welcome from my end. I'm not even trying to build a bridge here from Adam to me, a weird German lady talking about how to implement an intranet, right? That won't work, but I admire and follow him quite a lot. So that was already very, very inspiring for me. I'm very happy to be here today. I'm working for DHL Express. As you heard, we also call it the big yellow machine. So we deliver packages from A to B within short times. And this is also what makes us unique. It's a very, I would say, ad hoc driven business. And we are used to making things possible within a very short time. And I guess that's why I was also invited to this conference, because we actually tried to make all of our employees fall in love with our social intranet that we call Smart Connect. So 3 years ago, someone called me. I was working at Bayer and they told me, hey, we at DHL Express, we have this new intranet that we want to get launched. Janine, don't you want to join us? And I thought, that sounds very interesting. I'm always in love with big tech projects. And I said at some point, yeah, let's do it. But I had no clue what I was joining. So DHL Express, to be honest, had 2 very lame platforms, an employee app that no one was using, and a desktop-based intranet that was always, a bit very traditional, very out of date, so also not very much used by the audience. What we try to do within 9 months is to establish a social intranet, meaning a platform that allows us for the very first time to reach every employee out there, including our 40,000 frontline workers that do not have a DHL email address, that we cannot reach with a newsletter, that we can also not reach, digitally, so to say. The only option that we had locally were posters or screens. But who looks at screens, right? When they have a break, a 20, 30-minute break, no one does that. So this was a unique opportunity for us to establish a platform to keep people informed, but also to engage them. So I joined, and what we did is, at the very first point in the project, we looked at the amount of content that we had. So 15,000 pages on both of the platforms. We reviewed them, we assessed them, and we got rid of most of the content because it was mainly 10 plus years old. So really get rid of your old content. Don't fall in love with the content that you have, but try to start from scratch when you launch a new intranet. And what I also learned is we don't have any budget for agencies. So it was actually me sitting there training 1,400 editors. Myself. I was in team sessions every day, day in, day out, and I trained everyone from Fiji to Canada. And this really helped me to build a network, and it really helped to build the trust that I needed from the editor community to make the move. So in the end, after a couple of months after the launch, we almost reached 100,000 activations. And that meant a lot to us because it was not easy. You cannot tell a frontliner, hey, use your laptop or use your tablet when you're on the couch and go to our intranet. It's a cool place. You actually have to talk with them and deliver the login credentials. You really need a physical onboarding experience to that new platform, and that required a lot of effort locally to make this happen. So what I really enjoyed is at the beginning of the project, even though we had this tough timeline, we sat together with HR, with IT, and talked about what do we want to achieve here? Is this about an intranet, or is this maybe a bit more than that? And we all agreed Smart Connect, our social intranet, is not just a technical platform where we want to spread news and keep people informed. We want to use it to create a space where you can experience our values, what makes us unique as DHL Express, a place where you can also feel the culture. DHL Express has a very engaging, motivating, friendly culture when you are experiencing it locally. But how do we establish that in a digital space where, you don't really feel that connection right away, right? So that was our vision that we had. And then we said, how do we want to achieve that? So what are the different tactics that we want to use? And we said, we want to, of course, create the best possible employee experience, but not only with content. This is what Comst is doing, of course, but also with relevant services. This is one of the success factors of Smart Connect, that we have employee services and good content next to each other. So what I want to talk a bit more about is the 7 learnings and practical tips that I learned, that I collected throughout the years. So we are in the 2nd year with Smart Connect. And the first one is, I would say, also the most important one. Why? Because when you are in a global internal comms team, of course, you love your own content and you want to get the most clicks on that content. You think that is the most relevant stuff. And trust me, it's not. No one wants to read that. No one wants to read your corporate blah, blah. They want to see local news, ideally in local language, because this is the most relevant information that they need for their daily work. So try to make sure on your intranet, firstly, that it is available on the go, so that you have a good app, that it works on tablets, that it works, of course, on laptops as well, that it works on business and private devices, and then make sure that the local content in local language is available at the very top. It should be the first thing that people see when they open the app, because then they will come back. This is relevant to them. Is there a strike? Where do I need to park? Where do I get a free coffee? It sounds a bit light, I would say, but that's the reason why people use our app. Next to the news channels that we established, we also established so-called local landing pages. So one of the buttons that you see at the end of the screenshots here brings you to your local landing page. The system recognizes, I'm from DHL Express, which is just one division of the DHL group. I'm from Germany. I work in Bonn. And according to these filters, I see the local landing page of my entity. What is a local landing page? It basically summarizes everything that is necessary for me to have a good day, to find information, to find the right contacts on one single page. So there could be an event calendar, there could be the canteen menu, there could be contact lists from HR, whatever the local entity thinks is important. And next to that, the local teams can also send push notifications, but not to everyone, but to their workforce, to the people of their entity. And this is also one of the key success factors, I would say. Everyone is pushing every day, but not everyone sees it, right? We reach the right people with the right content here with this app. The second tip is about personalization again. So in Express, or in the DHL group, actually, we decided for, I would say, still a rather traditional intranet. So next to the news and some great social features that we have on the platform, we said we need this platform to establish long-form content that you need in the long term. So we want good content to be there, to be findable through the search. And this should not only be news content, but also maybe some policies, some HR content. So things that you actually need for your daily work whenever you have a question. And what you can see here is an example from our US colleagues. So you see also how great these pages look like, right? It's very easy to build these pages, and you can enrich them with calendars, with surveys, with quizzes, with forms, whatever is needed. It's super easy, and it works in 40 plus languages. So every team in every country can do good local communication with the pages. And how does the personalization work? So the system again recognizes my entity, my language, and some other filters. And according to that, I see a different set of pages, for example, under HR, under work, than my colleague from Express Malaysia, who might be a courier. And this is what we are aiming for. Everything is available to everyone, but the navigation is very much personalized. So this is all about news content. It's about pages. It's about personalization. And usually this is where internal comms stops thinking, right? But we said, what else is out there, right? What is the first experience that we can influence when someone joins the company? And this is, I would say, the time between you signed the contract and you start working at Express. And depending on your country and your situation, this can be 1 day, 1 week, or 3 months, right? In Germany, it's usually 3 months. So people need to be excited to be joining DHL Express also mid to long term before they have their first day. And we try to find a way to offer pre- and onboarding content with so-called journeys on the Smart Connect platform. How does it work? So let's say you decided to join our beautiful company, you signed the contract, then a courier gets to your place. So actually comes to your home address. You will get a welcome box. We call it DHL in a box. And in that box, you will find an onboarding pass with a QR code that brings you to our Smart Connect intranet even before you had your first day. You cannot enter the entire intranet, but you will find a localized page that tells you more about what DHL Express is about, what you should maybe get prepared for, what to wear, who to meet on your first day. So a lot of content that is very valuable, and of course also a welcome video either from our CEO or from the local team. So then you have your first day, and then the actual journey on Smart Connect starts. So before you joined, officially, you already know there is this platform. It's called Smart Connect. It looks cool, right? But on your first day, you get your actual access to the platform, and then a 1-year journey starts where you can get push notifications and learn about different things. For example, the community, learning experiences that we offer, volunteering projects that we offer. And you will always get notified with a push notification, so you don't always have to check the platform. What you can see here is one of the pages that we prepared, and this is very, very important. So it looks like an HR project, right? And HR was involved, of course, to get the local HR teams trained. But we in internal comms said we want to make this a unique experience. We want to create the content for that. And within a couple of months, we actually launched this in 190 entities. So 190 entities use our global content that we delivered, of course, but they added also local content pieces. And this is what makes this journey quite special. We mentioned it at the beginning. This Smart Connect platform for us is more than just an intranet. It is a place where we want to establish our culture, where we want to have our as one culture in the digital space, so to say. And we needed something more social on the platform, right? News and pages and some onboarding journeys, that is really nice. But why do people come to a platform? They come to a platform because they can connect with others. So they can see what their colleague posted, which video they posted, what they liked, what they commented on. And for that, we established so-called social walls. Every entity in DHL Express got its own social wall, which is a closed shop. So only employees from that entity can actually see what people are posting and can engage and post themselves. Next to that, we have regional and global social walls where everyone can post, see what others posted, and can also engage with that content. And this is, trust me, this is the reason why people came back to Smart Connect at the beginning. This was new because a courier from Malaysia never understood, wow, this unique Express experience, this is the same here in Malaysia as it is in Canada, as it is in Germany. So that was the first time we could see all the celebration photos, achievement celebrations. And there were only good vibes on the social walls, which is also quite shocking to me as a German lady, because in Germany, everyone is complaining all the time. But this is not happening internationally. The social walls are a beautiful place where people just share positive vibes, where they congratulate each other, where they just, tag each other and celebrate. And this is really, really nice and very unique. And if you don't have such a feature on your intranet, really rethink your vision or your concept. This is needed. And some people even tell me, when I'm on vacation, the first thing that I do in the morning is I check Smart Connect because I want to see, is there a cool airplane photo or what did my colleagues post? So I use it similar to Facebook or to Instagram. And this is, I think, quite unique. I mean, no one wants to use a company app during vacation time, right? So quite cool. The next tip that I have for you is, we talked a lot about content, but really think about also employee self-services. Employee self-services, what is that? So it could be a time and attendance tool. It could be a way to digitally download your payslip, something that we don't have in Germany, by the way. It could be an employee discount platform. So all the things that you have available, where do people find that, especially people that are operational workers? Do they rely on their HR contact locally to help them with everything? Is there a lot of paperwork involved? Make sure that you firstly digitize your HR services and then bring them on the platform and personalize them again. I don't want to see a service that is available in Malaysia. I want to see the service that is available to me in DHL Express Germany, according to my job grade, to my language, to my gender, to my age. So make sure that you find ways to use the filters in your HR core data systems to personalize the experience on your intranet. And we have 180 services on that platform. It is part of our intranet. I would not say it's a core part of the Staffbase platform, but in DHL Express, we found a way to connect the service hub with the actual intranet that comes from Staffbase, and that works quite well. Next to using the existing services, why not creating new ones, right? So when we launched Smart Connect after the first year, our CEO told me, Janine, I really care about volunteering. I want people to live up to our purpose, which is not only doing good in business, but also helping people and improving their lives. What can we do? So we actually established a service that we call the volunteering tracker. So this was an idea that came from internal comms. We said we need something that allows everyone to quickly track which volunteering project they joined, what they did, maybe upload some photos, and it should work like Strava, right? So they should track their hours and then share them very easily with their colleagues. And HR really liked the idea. IT too, within 5 months, we established this really cool feature, and thousands of employees actually started using it. So after the first year, we collected 70,000 volunteering hours on the platform, and all the photos were automatically shared on our Smart Connect intranet. So this is what we need. This is the spirit that we need in internal comms, not only taking what is there, but if you hear what your CEO wants, why not, being a bit more creative, thinking broadly, what can we do to help achieving that mission? And of course, we had several articles in 10 languages about that. So to really push throughout the year that people go to the volunteering tracker, which was part of the service hub, to get things tracked. And in the end, we were able to merge our volunteering tracker with an existing employee fund, very big contest that we usually run every year in November and December. So we now recreated the whole volunteering experience at DHL Express, and in the end helped 300,000 people worldwide. And this is what we aim for, right? Increasing the impact that we have as communicators. And next to that, next to services and some cool news and some cool pages that you establish, please think about how you distribute news and what your news content is about. Of course, in internal comms, we need to inform people, but it is also about engagement. No one wants to go to an intranet that is boring. No one wants to click on a news where you use the lamest stock photo that you found on the internet. So please make sure that you invest a bit of time, get your Canva account, use ChatGPT, use the tools that are out there to create cool content, engaging content. And I would say this is also one of the reasons why people come back to our intranet. We have a weekly competition every Monday morning at 8 a.m. You find a business-related quiz question, you can win a voucher, and we have thousands of people coming to the platform every Monday only to participate in that quiz. Even though it's quite easy, it is just fun and you look forward to it. But also look at your business programs, at your challenges that you have. And what we did here is we looked at the employee opinion survey that is very important to us, and we had a lot of physical password letters that we had to distribute every year to people so that they can fill in the survey, that we need to get their feedback that helps us to become a better company. So what we did is we said, okay, we need something that's very engaging, that makes people go to Smart Connect and fill in the survey there. We need a meme challenge, and this is quite courageous for a German company, trust me, because memes, firstly, not everyone in the management knows what a meme is, but it's also a bit dangerous, right? So when people don't really like your company, they could also misuse this and create a lot of, I would say, complaining memes and stuff like that. But that didn't happen. So in the end, the best meme could win an iPhone. That was the meme with the most likes. And you see it here in the center. It was one with a cat, of course, but also there were employees using photos of our CEO, Tobias Meyer. And it worked out in the end. So every 10th employee actually participated in this contest, and we were able to drastically reduce our password letters and to bring a lot of people to Smart Connect to finish the survey there. I want to end this presentation with, I would say, a personal note. I really underestimated the importance of the connection with the editors. By now, we have 1,700 editors, and I thought by training them for 3 hours in a team session, the job is done. Trust me, no one starts creating pages when they joined a 3-hour boring training. So make sure that you are out there, that you are the one trusted person that really sells this new platform because you love it, and they need to see the passion in your eyes, and they need to see that you are taking the time to actually answer the questions, to be there, to help them with the pages, with the news content that they create. When you do this, the magic happens, because then they see, oh, this is not going away. Janine actually cares. Oh, there's a Teams channel that I can go to 24/7 and people help me out. There are Q&A sessions that I can join. This is important for you to make this work. And please appreciate the editors that you have out there, even though they might have stupid questions, right? Even if they are from IT or HR and you don't really like HR and IT, these are the people that make your intranet successful. And we created a little video here for our editors. We do this every year to actually celebrate what they are doing. And with that, we will also end the presentation. So enjoy the show.
No matter where you are, no matter how far, just call my name, I'll be there in a hurry. You don't have to worry, 'cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, babe. Remember the day set you free, I told you you can always count on me, darling. From that day on, I made a vow, I'll be there when you want me, some way, somehow. 'Cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide.
So, This was nothing special, right? I created this in Canva, and this is also my last call to action here. It doesn't need to be fancy. You don't need the big budgets to make great content, to create great visuals. Just take the time, try out the tools, try to be more creative, take the extra step that it takes, be brave, and then it just works out. And I hope now we have some time for your questions. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Janine. And I love that song at the end. And it's clear to see that DHL is setting all their employees up for success from day one. I see a lot of questions coming in the Q&A tab, so let's get right into it. One question is, what are some leading practices to differentiate between cultural news, like company culture, versus procedural information people use for their day-to-day jobs?
Yeah, very good question. I would say in the global team, we say we usually have 60% engagement content and 40% informative content. And usually we also, when we look at the topic, we always ask the question, what is the information that we have to get distributed? And what is the engagement piece, which is a second article or a third article that we publish to reinforce the knowledge, to really make people think about the topic. So really look at your content strategy and see what you can do for every topic that is of importance to not only get the information out, but make people remember the key message, maybe use a quiz also to engage them, or let them upload a photo, or let them use a hashtag, whatever helps you to really get the message through. And we heard it earlier today. It is about repetition. Repetition doesn't mean that you always repeat the same or like republish the same article. It is just delivering the same message in different formats. What we also do is, of course, we republish content. We also work with newsletter formats where we summarize the most important news of the month. And we also rely on our local teams because we oftentimes don't know what is really relevant, right? So I want to leave a lot of space to our local teams. That's why we are also only publishing once global story a day, not more. And we don't push more than once a week. We want to give the local teams the opportunity to reach their people.
I love that. It's all about being relevant. All right, next question. We have lots of questions about moderation. One example that was submitted was, how do you moderate pots from employees in social spaces? There's a lot of anxiety from our leadership about allowing user-submitted content.
Firstly, you need to understand when people notice that their first name and last name is visible on an intranet, they usually write differently, right? Because they still understand this is not Facebook, but this is my company platform. So usually people get this. What we did to prevent that people just post and become trolls is in every country, in every entity, we established 2 champion roles. The first one is the content and community champion, someone from communications or marketing that is responsible not only to publish news, but also to monitor what's going on the social worlds. So they are the ones commenting, replying, managing the conversation there. And secondly, an HR access and user champion, so to say. So someone that is able to solve login issues to help people using the platform. And that was one of the success drivers of the platform.
Okay, love that. All right, our next question is, what is your executive management buy-in like? Do they use the app to communicate with employees?
I'm honest with you. So our CEO, John Pearson, the DHL Express CEO, he was on there for the first couple of weeks. And then from time to time, he sends me a message and I post this as him. So he likes the platform. He knows why it's important, but he also doesn't use LinkedIn that much. He's not really into social platforms. Our CIO is there and a lot of country MDs, managing directors are there. So I would say locally, it's more used than with the global management team, which is totally fine for me, right? If the local MD is there, posts, shares videos, likes stuff that people post, that is what I need. I don't need the whole GMB to be on the platform.
No, definitely makes sense. All right. Now, are editors that you trained in all the comms roles or local people in other roles who post content? If the latter, how do you monitor, coach them to ensure that activities are aligned with the comms strategy?
Good point. So in total, by today, we have 1,700 editors. 300 of them are internal communicators, and the others are from marketing, IT, sales, customer service, so on and so forth. So we have regular sessions where we share how to use the system, but also where we share tips and tricks how to do good communication. Could be how to use ChatGPT, how to create a visual in Canva, and we also share do's and don'ts. But usually also those people manage pages, so they create a page and then they maintain it, and the core news creators are communicators, are marketeers, and they usually know what to post and how to find the right words. Also HR is, I would say, improving in the comms, so they see what is working on the platform and create their own news. So we're quite happy with the outcome and the quality so far.
Yeah, I love how everybody from different departments are able to leverage the platform. All right, next question is, collaboration is so important to create intranets. Any suggestions on collaborating with HR on that kind of like co-creation of a new intranet?
So firstly, when you launch this platform, please get them on board and do this together. That was one of the reasons why I survived. It was the toughest time in my life to launch this platform, but there was a nice guy from HR that really helped me, and we created this whole thing together. So find a partner in crime, ideally from HR if you are in comms, that makes your life easier. And then when we look at our editorial planning processes today, I always tell my team, of course you can be very creative, but let's be honest, 60 to 70% of the topics come from HR. So we have regular sessions with them. We talk about how we actually talk about a topic. Do we show the leaders or do we show the people? Do we use AI to create employees, artificial employees? Shouldn't we do that? So all the things. You need to be open-minded, even though sometimes it's a bit difficult. HR doesn't really get what comms is about. I know it, but take the time and explain things, because then you become the trusted partner. And this is what they need also, to get better at communicating.
All right, love that. All right, I think that's all the time we have for Q&A. Janine, I want to thank you so much for your time today. We're truly grateful.
See you soon. Take care. Bye.
Thanks. And it's clear to see that DHL is delivering on great company culture.
Nice one. I see what you did there, Zeke. Your pun game is very strong. Thanks so much, Janine, for such a wonderful session about culture and how it's our role as ICs to facilitate the culture we need. It also resonates so deeply with what Martin said in his keynote earlier.